they never believed I'd come. Truthfully, I almost stayed away. Embossed invitations arrived celebrating for decades of supposed love and devotion. I knew the moment had finally arrived. It was time to settle an old score. From the shadows of the ballroom, I observed them with a glass in hand. The chandeliers bathed the room in warm light, echoing with laughter and admiration. They stood tall, glowing with pride. The kind of couple anyone would admire, trustworthy, untouchable, incapable of cruelty. At least that's how they appeared. But I knew better. I remembered the smell of smoke and pine, the harsh bite of their words. Useless. That single word had weight. It was the last thing I heard before their car doors slammed and the headlights vanished down the gravel road. I was only 14, abandoned at a campsite barely a mile from home. No food, no bag, no explanation, just rejection. That night, I curled up behind a dumpster, my stomach hollow, mosquitoes buzzing in my ears, straining for footsteps that never came. It was my grandfather who eventually found me, hours later, his truck headlights slicing through the dark. He pulled me into his coat, his heavy hand resting on my shoulder. He didn't ask questions, he didn't need to. His silence said everything. He knew what they had done, and he knew I would never forget. For 15 years I didn't. At their anniversary celebration, they raised their glasses like saints, while applause filled the room. I smiled too, though mine was carved from steel. If anyone knew about endurance, it was me. I endured the foster whispers after they signed me away. I endured hunger, cruelty, and shame. I endured while I worked, saved, and planned. Grandpa gave me more than a second chance. He gave me the tools to build an empire they never dreamed I'd touch. And so I waited, quiet, patient, until tonight. Their betrayals had revealed themselves slowly. Locked drawer where Grandpa once kept money. A mortgage signed in his name he never approved. After he passed, my mother whispered between tears about debts that had drained his estate. They hadn't only abandoned me, they had robbed the one man who had saved me. That was their second betrayal, and that I couldn't forgive. I never shouted, I never accused. Instead, I prepared. For 3 years, I tracked every transfer, every shell company, every crooked signature. Patiently, I assembled a flawless case. Then I purchased the building they lived in, acquired the mortgage they thought hidden, collected the debts they believed erased. Step by step, I tightened the noose. And tonight, all I had to do was pull it. When the host passed me the microphone, I stood. Ladies and gentlemen, I began, raising my glass, a toast to the happy couple. The room fell still. They hadn't expected me here not after 15 years. But they forced their smiles, performing the role of doting parents. You've taught me so much, I continued, about strength, about survival, about the true meaning of family.
Our murmurs of approval rippled.
As glasses lifted.
I'll wait.
Play it, I instructed. The projector lit up. First came the bank statements, their names tied to stolen accounts. Then forged documents, Grandpa's signature crudely copied beneath theirs. Finally, property deeds debts they owed, all now in my possession. Silence swept the hall. Guests shifted uncomfortably as frame after frame exposed the truth. My mother clutched her pearls, my father's complexion drained to ash. I leaned in close, my voice low enough only they could hear. You left me behind once. Tonight I leave you too, except now you're the ones without a home. I slid the foreclosure notices across the table immediately. Their house, their cars, their savings gone. The room buzzed with whispers. The celebration transformed into a reckoning. They tried to speak, but the microphone remained in my hand. Every denial crumbled beneath the weight of evidence. Every excuse withered under the stares of their friends, neighbors, colleagues, even their church circle. I didn't need to raise my voice. Silence did the work for me. When I walked out of the ballroom, I never looked back. I didn't have to. Their empire of deceit was already collapsing. The fire lit in full view of everyone who once believed in them. 15 years ago, they left me behind a dumpster. Tonight, I left them in ruins, and it wasn't triumph I felt, not vengeance, just quiet. Because revenge isn't about fury, it's about balance, about restoring what was stolen. They had taken a child's innocence and a grandfather's trust. I took everything else,